And welcome to yet another chapter, chapter number 2 of the Science of Getting Rich. This is Dr. Leven for the VIP team, and this is class number 2 of the Science of Getting Rich of Wallace Waddell. If you have not viewed class number 1, which includes both the intro and chapter 1, I would definitely suggest go view the class number 1 first and then move on to class number 2. That is just it. There is very good reason in the sequence of his classes and why one goes in sequence of the other. So chapter 2, there is a science of getting rich, and it's an exact science. It's like algebra and arithmetic. There are certain laws which govern the process of acquiring riches. Once these laws are learned and obeyed by any man, he will get rich with mathematical certainty. The ownership of money and property comes as a result of doing things in a certain way. Those who do things in this certain way, whether on purpose or accidentally, get rich. While those who do not do things in this certain way, no matter how hard they work or how able they are, they remain poor. It is a natural law that like causes always produces like effects. And therefore any man or woman who learns to do things in a certain way will infallibly get rich. That the above statement is true is shown by the following facts. Getting rich is not a matter of environment, for if it were, all the people in a certain neighborhood would become wealthy. The people in one city would all be rich, and while those in other towns would all be poor. Or the inhabitants of one state would roll in wealth, while those of an adjoining state would be in poverty. But anywhere we see rich and poor living side by side in the same environment and often engaged in the same vocations. When two men are in the same locality and in the same business and one gets rich while the other remains poor, it shows that getting rich is not primarily a matter of environment. Some environments may be more favorable than others, but when two men in the same business or in the same neighborhoods and one gets rich while the other one fails, it indicates that getting rich is the result of doing things in a certain way. And further, the ability to do things in a certain way is not due solely to the possession of talent. For many people who have great talent remain poor, while others who have very little talent get rich. Studying the people who have got rich, we find that they're an average lot in all respects, having no greater talents or abilities than other men. It is evident that they do not get rich because they possess talents or abilities that other men have not, but because they happen to do things in a certain way. Getting rich is also not the result of saving or thrift. Many very penurious people are poor, while free spenders often get rich. Nor is getting rich due to doing things which others fail to do. For two men in the same business often do almost exactly the same things, and one gets rich while the other remains poor or becomes bankrupt. From all these things, we must come to the conclusion that getting rich is the result of doing things in a certain way. If getting rich is the result of doing things in a certain way, and if like causes always produce like effects, then any man or woman who can do things in that way can become rich. The whole matter is brought within the domain of exact science. The question arises here whether this certain way may not be so difficult that only a few may follow it. This cannot be true, as we have seen so far as natural ability is concerned. Talented people get rich, and blockheads get rich. Intellectually brilliant people get rich, and very stupid people get rich. Physically strong people get rich, and weak and sickly people get rich. Some degree of ability to think and understand, of course, is essential, but insofar as natural ability is concerned, any man or woman who has sense enough to read and understand these words can certainly get rich. Also, we have seen that it is not a matter of environment. Location counts for something. One would not go to the heart of the Sahara and expect to do successful business. Getting rich involves the necessity of dealing with men and of being where there's people to deal with. And if these peoples are inclined to deal in the way you want to deal, so much the better. But that is about as far as environment goes. If anybody else in your town can get rich, so can you. If anybody else in your state can get rich, so can you. Again, it is not a matter of choosing some particular business or profession. People get rich in every business and in every profession, while the next door neighbors in the same vocation remain in poverty. It is true that you will do best in a business which you like and which is congenial to you. If you have certain talents which are well developed, you will do best in a business which calls for the exercise of these talents. Also, you will do best in a business which is suited for your locality. An ice cream parlor would do better in warm climate than in Greenland, and a salmon fishery will succeed better in the Northwest than in Florida, where there is no salmon. But aside from these general limitations, getting rich is not dependent upon your engaging in some particular business, but upon your learning to do things in a certain way. If you're now in business and anybody else is in your locality is getting rich in the same business while you're not getting rich, it is because you are not doing things in the same way that the other person is doing it. No one is prevented from getting rich by lack of capital. True, as you get capital, the increase becomes more easy and rapid. But one who has capital is already rich and does not need to consider how to become so. No matter how poor you may be, if you begin to do things in a certain way, you will begin to get rich and you will begin to have capital. The getting of capital is a part of the process of getting rich, and it is part of the result which invariably follows of doing things in a certain way. You may be the poorest man on the continent, and you may be deeply in debt. You may have neither friends or influence nor resources, but if you begin to do things in this certain way, you must infallibly begin to get rich. For like causes must produce like effects. And if you have no capital, you can get capital. If you are in the wrong business, you can get into the right business. And if you are in the wrong location, you can go to the right location. And you can do so by beginning in your present business and in your present location. Begin to do things in this certain way which causes success. This completes chapter 2. The next video, chapter 3, will be the chapter under the title, Is Opportunity Monopolized? This all is part of The Science of Getting Rich by Wallace Waddell, written in 1910. And this is offered by the VIP team who is an online university who actually pays the students to study. If you haven't seen how that is possible, go see the video that goes, where is the money coming from and where is the money going to? I would definitely love to suggest, if this is your first encounter with the VIP team, to go ahead and join us on Skype. Ask the person who has introduced you for the link. Do a free sign up. Come to see the whole project on the inside. You will find the links to Skype, to Facebook right there. And that's a place that you can come and ask any questions and find out how not only you can benefit, how your family members can benefit, how your parents, how your children can benefit from this, and eventually how you can allow also, if you wish, allow others to benefit both from the education and the fact that you can get paid to receive this education. I want to thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you next in chapter 3 of The Science of Getting Rich. Thank you so much.